Hi.
Hi.
Mr. Brandt, thank you for sending me the information. I think Brody will really enjoy that if it works out.
Yeah, I sure hope it does. I mean, that sounds like something I'd want to do.
Yeah, he was pretty excited. He's like, I get to go out of town and do pharmacy stuff. So yeah, he's pretty excited.
Is he considering pharmacy as a possibility?
Somewhat, yeah.
Kind of said,
Probably more towards like pharmacology and research, but yeah, he definitely he's considering it. So it would be a good thing to look into.
you know, they have at U of A, they have the doctorate of pharmacology and 6-year program.
Oh, okay.
So
That's good to know.
that's huge. I mean, you know, that's like, okay, now you get $150,000 a year after 6 years of college and you're a doctor right away.
Yeah. Okay, that's really good to know. Yeah.
My college roommate when I was down there was doing that program.
Oh, really? At U of
It was
A?
great for her and my brother-in-law too. They both did that program and, you know, graduated as pharmacists. Went right into the basically right into the PhD program before completing their bachelor's, and it's a great program.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Yeah, that's good to know. he kind of holds out hope for KU or baseball. So we'll see what happens.
Lisa Simon, your dog is adorable. Did you see the picture she had of her husky
There.
sitting under the Christmas tree?
Here, hang on, I'll do it. Wait, I'll do it
Okay.
again. Hang on. There.
Oh, so cute.
That's our troublemaker. I have a German Shepherd who's the perfect dog, and we have a Dalmatian too. The husky is just all trouble, but she's really pretty and she knows it, so we let her get away with it. Not anymore. No, she's like 3 years old now. But I think she's about a year. I think that was probably not this Christmas, the one before, so about a year and a half ago.
Well, better to have a troublemaker dog than a troublemaker kid, right?
That is true.
Very true.
That's one thing I gotta say. At least I did the teenager right. My son was not a difficult teenager, but just for Mr. Brandt maybe, but not for me.
Okay, let me, Shanda, do you mind taking a photo of all the names just so we have a record of everybody that's attending the meeting?
Yes, definitely. I will do it periodically. Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course. I try to always have them. But...
Okay, we have so much to cover tonight. It's 5:31, but if it's okay with everyone, I'm just going to get started with just some introductions, because like I said, we have a lot on the agenda. We're going to start with covering some items that would be relevant to all MSA families. And then that'll probably take about 15 minutes, just some upcoming events and some information about senior events and things like that. And then we will switch over and we are going to do kind of a presentation or an explanation of the information that all of you were presented with if you attended one of our library sessions in the spring when you first came into the MSA program, where we talk about the class requirements and the different levels of participation in the program, distinction versus non-distinction and all that. So if you already have all of that information and your student has been in MSA for a while, then I will let you know kind of when we're going to launch into that. So welcome new families and existing MSA families. Looks like we have a good turnout here for our last MSA Town Hall of the year. It's definitely been an interesting one, doing them all on Zoom. I think we started the year thinking, oh, we might have to do the first couple on Zoom. But who knew? Here we are in May, still doing Zoom meetings. Cross fingers that we'll get to see each other in person some more next year. I'm Ashley McAndrews. I'm the president of the MSA Booster Board. And we have Mr. Brandt, who is one of our heads of MSA at school. And Miss Lindberg, I'm guessing, is probably on here somewhere. I have a couple screens of people. Is she here, Miss Lindberg? Not yet. Okay. And then Mr. Miller. So that's the school team right there. And then additional booster board members, Kristen Will, and she is the vice president, and Katie Foster, and she's our treasurer, and Shanda Carithers, she's our secretary. Lisa Erickson, she is our past president. She was the president for 4 years before I transitioned into that role. And then we have Melanie Apps on here. I'm not seeing you, Melanie. She is our event chairperson.
Hi, I'm here.
Oh, hi. She's our event chairperson. So, so that's our board. Once again, I want to welcome all of our new families. I see more people still jumping on, as well as our existing families. A couple of the things at the very beginning here, I was going to have Mrs. Lindberg speak to. So since I'm not seeing her on here yet, Mr. Brandt, maybe I can have you speak to some of these items. So first I wanted to start with just a couple upcoming events. The first one is our freshman and sophomore study session that is this Saturday, I believe, in the Innovation Center. So Mr. Brandt, can you share a little bit of information about that?
Well, I don't know as much as Mrs. Lindberg knows because she's organizing that with students. I understand it's going to be half social, half study session, She's contacted the cohort teachers for freshmen and sophomores and asked for their input on what we can do, but not all of those classes are actually having finals. Some of them are projects and just end of the year things like that. So what we're looking at is to give them a clue, since some of them, this will be, you know, their very first final, on what to do, get them studying for finals, and then get them to have some fun also. So the students, our older students, are helping to devise that, and we'll have the older students running it mostly. And when she gets here, we just left robotics a few minutes ago. I actually drove faster than she drove. And so that's why she's not here yet, but she will be here. So if you have more
Okay.
questions on that, she can answer.
Okay, no problem. And I think it's from, did you mention the time? I think it's from 11 to 1. Lisa, you may know the answer to that.
You know, actually, I don't know the answer. I can find out. I'll look at that little ninja
It's on the
flyer.
flyer you sent me.
There's
Yeah.
Susan. She's here.
Here she is. Here she is.
11 to 1,
Same-
Saturday,
same-
11 to 1.
Glad you made it wherever you are safely.
Yeah, I had to drop, I was stalking your daughter, Katie, and I followed
You were stalking her and then you
home
cut
and
out.
gave her a couple checks.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I gave her a couple of checks.
Oh, yes,
Good.
she handed them right to me. Well,
Yeah.
I saw one check and then receipts.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So what we were covering, Susan, is the freshman and sophomore study session that's in the Innovation Center on Saturday.
Yep.
And it's part social, part finals prep, and there will be pizza. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. And then Susan, I was hoping you could talk a little bit about, we're just doing upcoming events because we're trying to cover all the information that's relevant to all the MSA families before we tell them they can go and cover all the information for the new families. So can you share a little bit of information about both graduation and the senior distinction award ceremony?
Sure. So our Math and Science Academy graduation, distinction commended graduation awards assembly is going to be next Thursday. I've already sent out, Mr. Brandt sent out save the dates a while back. Then I sent out an email invitation and then I mailed invitations home. So everybody should know about it. And it will be outside in the quad area on the quad stage from 6:30 to 7:30. We are going to have all the students up on stage, sitting in chairs, and the parents will be out in the lawn. Each parent will get a table with 4 chairs. Dr. Menzel is coming. Dr. Sackos is coming, and 2 board members, Patty Beckman and Julie Cianowski.
So for new families, that is the SUSD superintendent and assistant superintendent.
Yes. And 2 board members. Yep. And so I think it will be nice. The sun should be just beyond the building, so should be good. And then we will have some cake in the Innovation Center. Hoping that the Math and Science Academy boosters might help us out with that. We have a couple of volunteers to come help do some setup stuff. Students, Noriel and Kaylee volunteered to come help. And yeah, then the school-wide graduation is going to be the 27th. Is that correct?
Later.
Yeah, at 7:45. And each parent, each family will get 4 tickets at no cost. Kids will go to senior breakfast next Wednesday, come back to campus, pick up their cap and gown and their tickets. And there is project graduation also with the PTO. It's $125, and they're always taking donations also.
There's a question in the chat here. Lisa, do we know what time the senior breakfast is?
I do not. It's probably 7:30. It's right on the front of the school website. There's a thing about senior parents, and that's where all the graduation stuff is. And I think there was a button for senior breakfast also.
Yeah, we didn't have one our year, so I don't have a feel for that one. I know it's a wonderful event, though.
It's usually at like 7:30. It's
Pretty
early.
early, very
But
early.
it's just going to be senior breakfast and fun with the kids because they're doing the awards Thursday.
Well,
Do we know if
well-
there's a question about dress code? Do the kids get dressed up for the senior breakfast?
A lot of them do. Some of them don't.
And the cap and gown fitting and everything is right after the senior breakfast. They go straight to that, or
Yeah, they go to the school and somewhere there'll be signs. It'll either be in the community center or in room 211
okay.
behind the library. And our graduation is going to be business casual. So no jeans or t-shirts for the kids.
For
I
the
have a
distinction
question.
ceremony?
Yes, for our distinctions.
I
Okay.
have a couple of questions. The first thing is, are we limited to 4 seats at the MSA graduation?
Yes, we're following the same protocol as the school.
Okay, and you said that the larger Saguaro graduation is at 7:45, but I think it's 6:45.
I just read that off of the front
But
page.
no?
I think it's get there at 6:45. I think it starts at 7.
Yeah,
That's what I read.
the students have to be there way before the graduation starts.
Are they going to walk them at the senior breakfast? Will they tell them how they walk out or where they go? Or
Nope. There's the teacher leaders in each classroom and they walk them out.
but Griffith's not going. He's finishing Scope Online right now. So who does he go to for that advice?
Is he graduating in person?
Yes.
So when he gets to school, there'll be signs
Okay.
that say,
They'll have his name and
Okay.
they'll say which room he goes to. And then when he gets in the room, they'll give him a card which has his name on it. And then they'll make sure that if it's phonetically, I mean, I'm sure Griffith will be fine, but then they walk up and they hand their card, their name is announced, and then they give them their empty diploma case. And then when they come back at the end, then the diploma is given to them. And then they go to project graduation.
So just to be clear, they have to be on campus at 6:45 reporting where?
They'll come onto campus. Their names will be posted by the office. There'll be a whole wall of it. It'll say what room they go to. They go to that room, and then when they're in there, they get organized. If they're in the top 5%, they have to go in a certain order out. We check the kids and make sure that they're, not bringing things that they're not supposed to. And we help them, figure out how to do their tassel and that
Who
sort
gives
of
them the distinction stuff? When do they get that?
They get that at the MSA graduation. So
Okay.
they get the blue
Tassel.
Beastal.
And they should wear that to the bigger graduation, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
that's
so I just put a link to the school website that says senior breakfast is May 19th, but it doesn't say the time. Graduation day is at 7:45.
PM.
That's when they walk them out. They start walking them out really at 7:40.
Yeah.
And they have them all out on the field at 7:45, but the kids have to be there an hour early.
And for seating for the larger graduation, is it in the bleachers or on the grass?
Bleachers.
It's always been in the bleachers. And from what I understand, the students are going to be a little farther apart. They're going to try to more utilize the whole field to get closer to the social distancing parameters.
And there's a parent letter also, and the parent letter does say that each student will get 2 tickets for, and then they can purchase 2 more tickets for a total of 4 tickets. But they are not charging for tickets at all this year, so you will get all 4 tickets for free. And it talks about the dress code and all that stuff too.
Okay, I'm going to move on to one other upcoming event that I was hoping that I could have Melanie talk about. The Fired Pie fundraising event tomorrow night.
Yes. So every month our MSA Booster Board has had a social event for our families and at local restaurants to raise money for miscellaneous items. Like we're raising money to sponsor an appreciation lunch that is happening Thursday for all the teachers. So this helps with that. So once a month we get together. It's been really creative this year. We've had drive-throughs ordered online, but tomorrow night it's actually noon to 8 p.m. Fired Pie off of Hayden will be hosting MSA. So we sent the flyer, but you can also say we're here to support MSA fundraiser. And it should be very well attended. They have outdoor seating. You can take the items to go as well. Indoor and outdoor seating. Any questions on that?
And there's no timeline on that one, right, Melanie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Noon, I guess noon. They're more of a lunch place. They don't have breakfast, so.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And then one more thing that I would like to cover before we launch into the information for the new families is, Katie, can you just give us a quick treasure report? Just that's something that we
Sure.
briefly do at every single MSA meeting, and then talk a little bit about passive fundraising.
Yes, I am just pulling up the recent, I wasn't sure where in the meeting, so sorry I don't have it ready. Just opening up my update.
Mr. Brandt, Ms. Lindberg, and Mr. Miller, I'm just going to tell you real quick, the teacher luncheon sponsored by Lucy's is actually tomorrow. Not Thursday, it's tomorrow. Just in case you heard that.
Sorry, Ashley.
Oh, I was hoping for Lucy's tomorrow.
Sorry.
Okay,
That's okay.
so, okay, I'm off. So an update, let's see, this month, we did a little bit of fundraising and we had some expenses as well. We made 100 and let's see, what was it? Where'd that go? I don't have it broken down there. We made, I think, about $200 selling Sonic and Bash's cards, which was wonderful at our STEAM showcase. And we also made, I think it was another $350 or so from Lucy's. So our restaurant nights are doing really well. Thank you, everybody, for supporting these events. Expenses, we had a couple expenses for graduation, like picture frames, and a few other things for robotics. And I also purchased a new batch of Bash's community cards. So if anybody is interested in purchasing a Bash's community card, they are $10 and they are reloadable. And every time you reload your card, the MSA gets 6%. Please, you can email me, just email me through the MSA website. That is the best way, and we can try and set up some sort of a drop-off pickup. If you're interested in purchasing any Bash's community cards, they're $10 each.
And those also work at AJ's?
They work at AJ's and Food City, and they even work at Eddie's up in Pine Top. Yeah. If anybody's heading out of the valley during the summertime. Another passive fundraiser that we do is if you shop at Fry's, Theirs is different. There you just connect your fries through the community rewards. If you have the app, you find like the link for community rewards and you just put in Saguaro Math and Science Academy, or you can go to the website, and if you have to create an online login, and then there under your card number, you can also, it'll tell you to select your charity, select your organization, and you would put in Saguaro Math and Science Academy. So that's Bashes and Fries. Amazon Smile, something you're probably familiar with through other schools that your kids have been in, other activities. Amazon Smile, we are also registered with them. Again, just look for Saguaro Math and Science Academy. If you have any questions or have difficulty finding any of this information on ways you can support, just email us or email me, Katie, at saguaromsa@gmail.com, and I can get you set up with anything you need. For our new parents, just a quick update. We raise money for the Math and Science Academy in general, but we also work with the various clubs like robotics, cybersys, and stuff like that. And I help them manage their money. So some of that would also go through me if you have any questions. The only thing I don't manage is the tax credits. That goes through the school. So if anybody has any questions, just throw it in the chat and I'll take a look.
Thank you, Katie. And Shonda, maybe you can put some of this on our Facebook page. Just list the passive fundraising with the exact way that the
I can do that.
Academy needs to
I'll
be.
do that, Shanda. I'll post it to the webpage.
Okay. And when we're on that topic, let's share with everybody the Facebook page info.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to do that real quick, Shanda? How do people get on the Facebook page? You're on mute. You're on mute.
Sorry, I double clicked it too many times. It's in the chat already. Information for our Facebook. Scottsdale Math and Science Academy at Saguaro High School. Join our Facebook closed group. We share all kinds of information for MSA and fundraisers, everything. So minutes. So yeah, join us. Sorry.
Thank you. Okay, so unless there are any questions, go ahead and shout them out or put them in the chat if there are any questions from people who are thinking that they are going to hop off now, because we are going to talk about just basically the history and the vision of the Math and Science Academy and what some of our different clubs and opportunities are, and some of the cyber camp opportunities that you have this summer. And Mr. Brandt is going to go into some information about course of study and distinctions programs and things like that.
Hey, Ashley, before we have the folks peel off, the existing folks,
yep.
One thing that I'm hoping we can mention is that we're hoping that it's looking like we're going to have a pretty big fundraiser at the beginning of the school year. So I know we've sent some emails out on that, but if everybody can keep an eye out for that, we're going to try an online auction and maybe an in-person auction for the first time. We've never done that with this program. It's time. It's time. The programs are all growing and we can certainly use the funds. So we're all looking forward to that, and we hope that you'll participate. And I think we'll all have a lot of fun with it.
That will be fun. Thank you, Lisa. And also, before people jump off, Susan has posted the link to the Cyber Patriot summer camp, and that certainly is not just for incoming students. There are 2 standard camps, which would be for people who have had no experience at all with cybersecurity education, and then there is an advanced camp in July. So go ahead and take a look at the flyer. Please put your name in the chat if you would like to be added to. I have an email group that goes out just to people that are part of the Cyber Patriot program or interested in the camp or one of the initiatives. And so I'll make sure that you're on my radar and I add you to that. So thank you.
Yeah, and I'll throw in, I know I'm going to talk about it again, but throw in my 2 cents. If your kids have any thought at all of doing this, have them take one of the camps. Honest to God, it is going to be amazing, just amazing. I've been watching the instructors put the materials together. It's going to be so much fun this year and such an amazing thing for any student to participate in. So give it a shot.
It was a lot of fun for the kids last year. It was a great opportunity for these kids. I mean, take advantage of that, you guys. It's great.
Thank you. Okay, so new families, welcome again.
I'm going to leave. I just want to say thank you to everybody. You guys have been amazing for our kids, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for 4 great years. Thank you for the support and all the activities and just an incredible academy.
Been great.
Thank you.
You guys are awesome. All of you.
And for the new coming parents, I mean, my God, please have your kids take advantage of the online classes. It really helps. It really, I mean, some of those classes, summer class and everything, get them through everything real fast. So don't worry, they can get through the whole program. They do that. Thank you.
Okay. So once again, I'm Ashley McAndrews, and I'm the current president of the MSA Booster Board. I have 2 daughters that are juniors this year, and we ended up at Saguaro for the Math and Science Academy. Among other great benefits, the Saguaro community is a very close and diverse community, and it's much, much smaller, as many of you probably know. Saguaro's a lot smaller than a lot of the other SUSD schools, and you can really can feel it. And the teachers there are just so committed and care so much about the students, so it's wonderful. And then within that community, we have our own other little community of the Math and Science Academy, which isn't so little anymore. It started with 8 people. Mr. Brandt started it in 2008, and now we have how many total students in the academy, Mr. Brandt? I'm thinking 300?
Right now we have about 285, and next year we should have about 320.
Okay, so it has, it's been a huge success for the district, and it's really been kind of a shining star. I mean, I think people really look to this program and end up at Saguaro because they want to be a part of this program. So one thing that I really liked as well is that we did not come from a feeder school. So my girls didn't really know anyone. So being part of the Math and Science Academy gave them the opportunity to have be in the same cohorts with a lot of similar students. So they got to know kids, I think, quicker than they would have had they just had a random schedule. Something else I really love about the group within MSA is that you have students from all walks of life. So it's not, although it's a STEM program that's, dedicated to a focus on STEM and rigorous academics, you have students from choir and band and football and volleyball, and it's just a whole range of kids. So that was really appealing to me. So I'm just going to briefly state our vision. It's that we have a rigorous and unique program that emphasizes math and science with an infusion of technology, which the whole Cyber Patriot program that we've brought in has been new and something that's been great in that way. Of course, we have the robotics program and several other programs that I'll have Mr. Brandt or Ms. Lindberg talk about in a little bit. It's designed to specifically meet the needs of academically motivated and dedicated students. And we provide challenging experiences comparable and competitive with Math and Science Academy programs across the nation. So we've been really happy at Saguaro, and we've loved being part of this program, and the group of parents that I have met and the board members have just been a pleasure to work with. So, we basically, our parent board is here to support your family and your student in any way we can. And of course, we're here to support the school team, Mr. Brandt, Ms. Lindberg, Mr. Miller, in any way that we can try to support them. So that's what I have to say about the program. I was hoping that we could have Susan talk a little bit about the various clubs that I mentioned.
Sure, okay. So we have quite a few clubs that the Math and Science Academy always helps out and sponsors. Amy Johnson does Science Olympiad, which is a bunch of different types of events, building, testing, or going and doing a lab. We have Science Bowl, which Miss Grice did this year. It's Jeopardy. Miss Johnson also did, in the past, she has done Rube Goldberg. Mr. Milne has done HOSA. And then we have started a cybersecurity club this year with 4 different initiatives. And the kids are making lessons and teaching them via Zoom to 3rd through 5th graders at Kiva and Navajo this year and last year. And they really love it. The kids just really love it too. It's cute to see their little faces. Sometimes I peek in and watch while they're teaching the kids. And we also have in the future a Cyber Gen where our students will teach the senior population, our senior citizens, how to be safe online and make good passwords, etc., when they can get into facilities. We also have a bookworm, Cyber Bookworm, which Kritin Mandala runs, and he's just amazing. He's brought in a lot of bigwigs and publishers and trying to get help that way. And also he is working on a National Science Foundation, possibly grant, etc. So that's pretty exciting. He's done a great job. He acts like he is a 40-year-old businessman. And then we have the Cyber Patriot, which is, and the Cyber Bookworm. They're trying to publish a book that was written by Kaylee, one of our past students, and another student from Chaparral's robotics team about coding ethics in robotics. And then they want to start a whole series. So, I mean, the sky's the limit for these guys. They're just go-getters. Then we have the competitive initiative, which is the Cyber Patriots, which is teams compete in the U.S. Air Force Northrop Grumman's nationwide Cyber Patriot competition. And last season here, we did 3 rounds, ended up very well. One of our teams, Jake Weiss, is teaching that one, and he's an amazing, he knows more than all of us put together about computers. And he will also be doing some of the camps. His team ended up in the I believe it was the platinum level. And then we had another student ended up placing 3rd in the silver level. And she was all by herself because everybody was absent that day. So that was pretty fun. And now they're just doing, Jake's running some CTFs, which is called Capture the Flag. So it's just kind of more practice. And at the end of the cyber security camps, they will do a competition, just like the one that they've done through the U.S. Air Force. And I think that's it.
Thank you. Jake, are you on? And if so, would you be willing to share a little bit of information about your experiences with the clubs? I know Kenan is here and she is willing to do that as well. Oh, there's Jake.
Yes.
Yeah,
Hello.
Jake, before you start, let me just quickly say a couple quick things about the cyber stuff, just so people have some context. This all started with our Sisters in STEM program. I don't know if you've heard of that yet or not, but you'll see we've posted the website for that online, which started with 3 girls in robotics who just wanted to give STEM opportunities to little girls. Out of a couple of years of the buildup of that, some of you may have come to that, we were contacted by Northrop Grumman a couple of years ago, and they asked us to partner with them to start to roll out cyber initiatives across the valley. They chose our school in particular over any other school that in the entire Arizona state because they could see that the kind of work that we do in outreach and the commitment that our kids have to volunteerism and really helping was something pretty special. So they came to us and proposed that they would fund us for a number of initiatives that we've started, and give our kids the opportunity to learn about the cyber world in so many ways that we've had so far. And out of that, we now have 3 incredibly robust cyber initiatives. You've heard of them, and we'll have the Cyber Gen next year. We have another partnership that's been started out of that with the New York Society of Women Engineers. They're wildly excited about what we're doing, and they're starting to help our kids get a national and global presence. And we now look like we'll probably have a partnership with an ASU cyber outreach group. They reached out to us as well and want to include us in a grant opportunity that they have, which will provide a phenomenal amount of opportunities for all of our students. For any of you that haven't yet looked at the cyber world, if that's something you haven't touched on, I certainly didn't know anything about it when we were approached. This is an opportunity. All of our students should try and get some exposure to this field because it's something everyone is going to contend with. And if some of the news the last few days hasn't highlighted that enough, it's out there, and the career opportunities are outstanding, and they come in many, many flavors. You don't have to be an IT person. A lot of it's education, a lot of it's communication, marketing, that sort of thing. Just a fascinating field. The job opportunities are infinite for our kids. This is the profession of this generation. So if you get the chance, have your kids get into it. Jake, I've said all I'm going to say. Go ahead, my man.
Awesome. Thank you, Ms. Erickson. So my name is Jake Weiss. I'm going to be a sophomore next year, and I'm the president of the Cyber Patriot Competitive Club. So yeah, I'll go a little bit into that. There's kind of like 2 elements to the competition area of the club. There's the year-long club, which I lead. And also, I think Ms. Lindberg talked about this a bit, but we have 3 competitions throughout the year. That's through Cyber Patriot, which is associated with the Air Force and Northrop Grumman, and that's the largest youth cybersecurity competition in the world. So that's pretty cool. We spend the year kind of learning operating system security and how to secure personal computers. Sounds real complicated, but you get in there and it's a lot of fun, not too difficult to grasp. And yeah, like Ms. Lindberg said, teams did really, really well this year. So the second element of our program is the summer camp. So we are going to be starting, we have a few weeks of camps that we're offering this next summer. They're all going to be virtual for about 1 week in length. One of them might be a little bit intense, a little bit added on to that, but just a week in length. And you really start from the basics. I took the camp last year having basically like no experience in cybersecurity at all. And after a week, I thought, A, it was really, really cool. And I was super excited to keep learning about it. And B, I felt confident enough, like I had learned enough in that week alone that I could then teach a whole club about cybersecurity. So that was pretty darn cool. And of course, if you like the cyber camp and want more of it, it's plenty of opportunity to join the club in the fall. A lot of what we do in it is really about like constructive, collaborative problem solving. It's not like typing 1s and 0s behind a computer. It's really engaging and exciting stuff. And yeah, a little bit more about my experience. I won't go on too much longer, but coming in as a freshman to the high school, I thought it was a really great way to get to meet some people because we're going to be emphasizing a lot of like the social aspect of it. I knew like no one at the high school. So even just having like familiar faces and said, hey, I saw you on that camp over the summer, being able to do that when school started, that was really great. And the teachers are really good to know too. They're all graduate students in the STEM fields, really awesome people. Great to know, learn a lot, and it's a bunch of fun, which I think is probably why I'm still doing it. So yeah, that's all I have to say. If Kenan is on here, I think she had some things to share too.
Yeah, she can speak a little bit to our hope for getting CyberGen up and going, and then her experience with the Cyber Assist program.
Sorry, we had to switch, but yeah, my name's Kenan. I'm gonna be a senior next year. And so first I was gonna talk a little bit about the K-6 initiative. We kind of already touched on that. We started that during quarantine pretty much when all these students were going online and they were having like this huge exposure to stuff that could potentially be dangerous to them. And so we wanted to make sure that they were staying safe online. I think we already explained that well enough. Like Jake said, he's leading the competitions. He's doing a great job. Just one more thing about the summer club. If you think that you'll be interested in that, there's a standard camp and an advanced camp. And you can do the standard camp, kind of get that introduction, and then go and do the advanced camp 2 weeks later. But if you're interested in either of those, please put your email or your kid's email, I don't know if this is mostly parents, in the chat, because I will be sending out an email later tonight that has more information about how you can register. And so we can set that up and get that going. We want to enroll Saguaro students before it opens up to other SUSD schools. And so I just wanted to put that out there so that everyone who wants to do it can get in. And then next year, we're trying to start the CyberGen initiative, which is another area of cybersecurity. It's helping elderly folks stay safe online, because as probably a lot of you know, they're the targets of a lot of different types of scams just because they're not as necessarily experienced. We were trying to get that going this year, but obviously with the COVID situation, we found it a little bit difficult. Nursing homes were really busy and we couldn't really go into them and talk to people. But hopefully now that a lot of people are vaccinated, now that things are calming down, knock on wood, we'll be able to really get that going. We'll be able to go in and give presentations, because it's, yeah. So that's pretty much all I have to say, I think. Just remember to put those emails in there so that I can send out that email and give more information. Thank you.
Yeah, and if it isn't already clear from what the kids are saying with their enthusiasm, every student that we've had do any of these camps, the clubs, they walk in and nobody really knows this industry at all, and they just love it. The other thing to know is this summer's camps, the 3 of them, it's a pretty unusual situation. Typically, for any camp like this in the Cyber Patriot world, it costs anywhere from $300 to $500 a week to put these kids through it. But Northrop Grumman has, because they really like what we're doing, they've offered to fund all of our costs basically for the camps. So this 1 year, all the camps are free to all the students that join. We're going to have 25 students per camp. That's about as much as we can handle, I'd say, online. So if you have an interest, this is definitely the year, and I would get yourself signed up, at least to show an interest, as soon as you can. You'll see that Susan has put a link in here to a flyer. I think it's the Cyber Camp flyer. If you go to that, there's a place where you can show your interest, a little survey that we have in there. Just fill the thing out. It'll go straight to Susan, and then Ken can start communicating some of the things that we need to do from there.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jake and Kenan. Okay, now, Mr. Brandt, I was hoping some of these new families might not know anything about the Innovation Center, and it has been just month after month after month that you have been giving us an update on from, you know, ground zero, the Innovation Center, and now it's finally open, which is so exciting. So if you want to just let the families know a little bit about, thank you, screen sharing, the Innovation Center, and then I have you next on the agenda to just go into just some information about MSA, course of study, the kind of information that we would generally share at our spring meeting. But you're on mute, Mr. Brandt. Mr. Brandt, you're on mute.
Okay, there we go. It doesn't work very well to unmute with your space bar when you're on the other screen. Okay, so we have opened the Innovation Center right now, and we have students using it. This is a picture of the robotics field that we had in there. That's taken down since that competition's over, though. If your student is interested in robotics and you're an 8th grader, we will be meeting this summer, I believe on Tuesdays and Saturdays. And so if you're interested in that, please email me or Mrs. Lindberg, and we'll have the students put you in what's known as the Discord. So if your student wants to get the messages about when the various robotics teams are meeting during the summer, they can do that. We've also just started a partnership with the Scottsdale Arts, where they're going to be doing a visiting artist and working with the robotics kids to develop some art pieces that are animated and do a little scavenger hunt at the canal convergence. And I'm actually going to try to lobby to get Kaylee Battelle as an intern to help with that. So I mentioned that yesterday in my meeting with Natalie Marsh and them, that I'm interested in that. So we're going to be working on that a little bit during the summer. So if you have a kid who's really interested in art and robotics, it will be an opportunity for them. I'll just show you a few pictures. This is kind of what the field looking into the Power Lab. This is a little back farther away, very colorful space. They were taping their robotics performances, and so they set up a camera up there. Behind that is the print lab where we have 3D printers, and you can see that there's 4 of them there. And then this over here is a embroidery machine and various other, there's quite a few different machines there. This is the cage for robotics equipment. We have lots of equipment. This is the Power Lab. We are scheduled to get some more machines. The SUSD Foundation is actually meeting this week to appropriate funds, and we're expecting more funds from the Farley Foundation to buy additional machines. We want to get this is a CNC router. We want a CNC mill and a CNC lathe, and finally a laser cutter. And so that's our big ticket. That's a CNC router. That's over $20,000. And so just an amazing space. The students love it, and it's up and going. And next year we'll have our engineering classes in there. We've already had some other classes come in and use it. Okay, so do you want me to? I wanted to show you this real quick. Here's an email I got today. The kids participated in the Scottsdale Community College Math and Science Field Day, and the winners, all but one of them, was from Saguaro High School. So thought that was pretty impressive. They got scholarship money and gift certificates. So I just wanted to kind of mention how amazing that was. Then let's see, I also wanted to show you this. This is our levels of recognition. We now recognize students that are just members. That can be anyone now. We are trying to be more inclusive with our program and recognition, and so you don't have to do the cohort classes. You can just participate in any STEM-related activity and be a member of the Math and Science Academy.
Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Brandt. Is that supposed to be up on the screen now because the Innovation Center is still up?
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Okay. Let me try stopping sharing, and then let me try starting sharing again and calling up this one.
And real quick, I'm sorry, Mr. Brandt, but there was a question in the chat wondering if the robotics camps are only available to 8th graders, or are they available to all students?
They're available to all students, and it's not a camp. The team is meeting twice a week. It'll probably be from 8 to noon. They want to do Tuesdays and Saturdays, and so I'm covering some of those, and Mrs. Lindberg will cover some of those, but they're trying to get additional teachers to cover the other ones that can't be done yet. So the schedule is not set, but should be set within a week. Okay, so can you see this now? Okay, so these are our levels of recognition, and everyone always wants to talk about the distinction level. The distinction level is what you have to complete to graduate from the Math and Science Academy. And right now, about 50% of our students complete all of these things, and about 50% don't. And so we wanted to recognize the students that get almost completely done, or 70% done, or just want to be members. And so we're still working on exactly how that recognition goes, but our distinguished graduates and our commended scholars will be recognized at our Academy Awards thing that we're having on the 20th. If your student wants to graduate from the Academy, they have to complete 9 units of advanced math and science, and those are listed here. They also have to do a minimum of 3 high school science courses. They could do 5 math courses, or they can do up through calculus, and then they could do 5 science courses. So there's a lot of flexibility. We do have a list online showing all the accepted courses. Some courses are accepted for commended scholar, and some courses are not, so are not accepted for distinguished graduate. Some other things that they have to do is they have to complete some honors level courses. Generally, they take English Honors 1 and English Honors 2, but we always encourage them to take AP Honors English. And then they have to do 2 years of 1 foreign language. We always encourage them to do a 3rd year so that they can be eligible for selective colleges. They have to participate in STEM level competitions, at least 2. And the Math and Science Academy Field Day was one of those that some of them did remotely this year. We had quite a few doing that. And then they have to do a small amount of community service, and then they have to do some type of capstone experience, which could be a field experience, or we've just added, Mr. Miller is heading this up, the Academy Capstone program. And if they complete the Academy Capstone program, there is a senior research component which counts as their field experience, and they also get a diploma from the AP Council in addition to their Saguaro diploma and their Math and Science Academy diploma. So that is starting next year. We also have the Commended Scholar. The Commended Scholar is a little bit more open. It allows a student to take things like AP Psychology, which is a STEM-related class, and they do not have to go through calculus to get enough hours, and then they either need to do 2 competitions or a field experience. So it's a little less of a requirement, but still pushes the kids to really excel in STEM. And then we have our Scholar program, which once again has a little less requirements. And so this is something that we've added this year to be more inclusive and to put another carrot out there for the kids so that it's not all or nothing. And that's kind of what we're trying to do, is focus on serving more and more students and allow them to choose the level at which they want to participate in the academy.
And I just want to make a quick comment here that this is something that I just think is wonderful about the Math and Science Academy, that if you have a student who is interested in STEM but maybe would struggle taking honors English or some of the other, or AP World History and some of those other classes, or even if they're not able to take the AP math classes, they are still able to participate in the program and in the clubs that we offer, and to be able to come to the socials and see the speakers that we bring in and things like that. So I think that it's very important to me that we're being really inclusive, instead of just saying, yeah, if you can't swing all those AP classes, then this isn't for you. We are just all about trying to get kids excited and involved in the field of STEM. So.
Yeah, do you mind if I throw onto that too, Ashley? Because Okay, this is year 5 for me, you know, after having watched this program grow so successfully and watching the Innovation Center get born and watching all of our kids and the changes to the programs. One of the things that we love the best about what's happened with this program is it is absolutely inclusive. You won't find that in almost any other STEM-based program in the Valley, or really most of them across the country. They're elitist. I don't mean that in a negative way, but they are academically elitist. It's the top 10% that make it in, that kind of thing. And that is just not what we think in this group. We want any kid that has any passion at all for STEM to get the opportunity to grow in whatever way that means for them. And Chris and Susan and Ray and Mrs. Oxiger and the whole team, they have so embraced that idea. And I have watched kids that literally felt like they had nothing to offer academically or otherwise in the school. Just come into our programs, come into robotics, come into the MSA, and just blossom and become new people, all because of the support that these guys show for them. And you're going to see the same thing too, every one of you. I don't know any other program in any school that we've had any involvement in that shows this kind of passion for the kids, and it changes them. I'm so delighted for all of you to have the chance to do this and for you to get to experience the Innovation Center and all these amazing programs. So I just want to tell you, you picked the right place. You're gonna have a good time with it, and your kids will too.
Thank you so much, Lisa. Well said. Okay, so that was a lot to cover. That was everything that I have on my agenda until we open it up to Q&A. So do we have any questions? You can either just speak them out, or you can put them in the chat if you're more comfortable with that. Mr. Brandt, you did a really great job explaining that if we don't have any questions. Oh, I know something that we were going to talk about that somehow I missed putting on the agenda. At the beginning of the school year, we are going to have both an open house, provided things don't go off the rails with COVID. Again, we are going to try to have an open house for parents and families at the Innovation Center within the first maybe like 2 weeks of school, and just kind of a meet and greet. And our board will be there, and our teachers, and it'll give you an opportunity to be on campus and see the Innovation Center. In addition, with the exception of this year, we have always had a big social early in the school year. It seems to work out best if we have it after school's been in session for just a couple weeks, because then kids, you know, that we've had kids that come all by themselves and are really nervous, and then they recognize, oh, I know you from my such and such class, or oh, you sit behind me and this and that. And so we've done, you know, like pool party with volleyball and taco truck, and it's been really fun. So we're really hoping that we can do that again a couple weeks into school. So there's that meet and greet for the parents, and then there's the social that we are hoping to have for the family. It's not just students, the families are all invited. And maybe that's where we'll be able to launch some of our in-person auction items as well. So that's all I have to share. Am I forgetting anything, team?
You know, the one thing, any of you all that might know people that want to be in the MSA or thought they might have an interest, but they're not sure, anybody at all, if they did not get the invite to this meeting, we need to know who they are, because it's a little bit of a manual process getting all the names of all the players. And every year at this time, we find a few families that get lost in the shuffle, which is just very frustrating for all of us. So if you know of anyone at all that didn't get the email inviting them to this, make sure that they reach out to Chris and Susan and get their names to us so we can include them in what comes up.
I have a number of emails that have been bouncing back to me. So if you know somebody who is in that circumstance, or if you're in that circumstance and you just got this Zoom link from a friend, please let me know, because I'm trying to track down each of the bounce backs, but you know, it would help me immensely if you just let me know that that you're not getting anything from us. There will be a recording of this Zoom meeting to view for parents who were not on the call tonight. And Mr. Brandt, how can people access that recording?
Well, I share it with you guys, and then I'm not sure what happens to it after that.
Is there
I
a
usually
link?
put it on I can put it on Facebook too,
Yeah.
but they have to know to join Facebook.
Yeah, I share a link with the board members, and then it just kind of out of my preview.
Okay.
It isn't posted anywhere on the school website or anything.
So
I
if
mean,
you email me the link, then I will email the link out to all the families either tonight or tomorrow.
oh, okay.
Okay.
All right, I will do that. If we have just a second, I want to kind of show you the website real quick here, just so everyone knows how to get to it, so the parents of the freshmen know how to find. We're trying to get it changed, but we're hidden, and so let me just show you this. This is Saguaro's website, and you know, there's the MSA, but it falls off the announcements every time they put a new one in it, and you have to click more. And if you have anyone at all who would be interested in the Math and Science Academy, this is where you find all our information on it, along with our calendar. And we actually have an information video. Eventually, the district is going to make this so you click on it and it pops up and the video plays. Right now, if you click on it, it downloads as an MP4. But if you know of anyone who is interested in the Academy who missed the information session, this is a video about the Math and Science Academy. Please share that with them. It is a certainly great thing. And then here is all the information, like our distinction program requirements. They're all right there. So it's a great source. Our counseling page too also is an amazing source. So we have a link to it here for you on this page. So just wanted to share that real quick. I didn't want to take any more of your time. I just think it's a really valuable asset for the Academy to, if any families know of anyone, have them watch the video.
You know, one administrative thing, maybe somebody already caught this, but I see one person, Alyssa Walani, said that, I think Alyssa is saying that she can't sign her student up for the MSA because she doesn't have her student's ID. So we should have somebody capture that email and talk with that person. Alyssa, if you can make sure to, you know, just somehow let either Chris or Susan or Ashley know, we'll make sure, you know, to get you wherever you need to be.
Yeah, and you do not need a student ID. You can just put in 0000 and that'll work also. And then once you open enroll, they'll give you an ID number and we'll put it in.
Thanks, Chris.
2 minutes.
Okay.
Should incoming freshmen attend Saturday's event? No, incoming freshmen should not come on Saturday. It's just for current freshmen and sophomores. We will have another one before the first final exam for the incoming freshmen. Before they take their first final, we'll have a information session for them where we bring in kids who've taken finals, and once again, they'll explain how they should study for the final and do some social things. And so you do not have to come if you're an 8th grader to Saturday's event. And we also have another one saying she's not getting emails.
Okay. And can you tell me what that email address is and what the student is?
I'm going to copy it from here and I'm going to send it to you email.
I'll write it down, Ashley, too. I'll take a note of it.
I'm looking at the chat and I'm not seeing it, but okay. Yes, thank you. Write it down for me. Maybe I'm just behind.
I just would add what Katie wrote in the chat about the board. We're recruiting members. We want to grow our board and have like people shadow us in each role. So we really want to welcome people that are interested. And if probably just reply to the Saguaro MSA if you're interested in helping. To the
Oh,
actual
yes.
email.
Yes, I would highly recommend it. Anybody that wants to see this program for what it can really do, get involved in your board here, this group here. First, they're just a lovely group of people, and you guys can make anything happen that you want to when you're on the board, because working with our teachers and our admin is a gift. They work with us on anything we want. The answer is always, how high do I jump, when we ask them to jump, and we do the same back for them. Yeah, get involved. It's good. It's fun.
And my chats all just popped up at one time, the last like 5. So there's someone saying that her daughter is a freshman and she did not have any of the information on the study session. So that information did not come from the information is coming from 2 different places. So you're getting information from saguaromsa@gmail.com, or at Gmail. That's me, and that's our board, the Parent Booster Board. So that information will, invite you to our booster meetings, let you know about different events that are going on, reach out to see if you need support in certain areas. And we don't send anything to your student. So the information that your student gets is from the school team. So that would have come in an email, I would say, from Mr. Brandt, Ms. Lindberg, or Mr. Miller. Then I'm guessing that email went out to all freshmen and sophomores. Is that correct? Yes.
Yes.
But it did not go out to parents. I actually didn't even know about that event until today. It sounds like a great event, but that's why you didn't get the secondary email from the Saguaro MSA about that, because the Saguaro MSA Gmail is the Booster Club. Is that clear? Okay.
Ashley, I actually sent one email, so I didn't overwhelm people with 6 different single emails, that had the Saturday event, and it went to parents and students. Also,
So if the parent that's writing in here did not get that then from Miss Lindberg, then you'll want to make sure that you reach out to her to make sure that the school MSA team has your correct email. Okay, are we good? Are we good? Do we have any other questions? Okay, well, thank you very much, everybody, for your time. We have these meetings during the school year. We have these meetings once a month. They used to be in person. Hopefully going into the next school year, we can do kind of a combination, because I know Zoom is more convenient for people often, but it's also nice to see people's faces. So next year, maybe we'll kind of do an every other type of schedule, but you can look forward to both the meet and greet at the very beginning of school for families, and information about the auction and the social for the students, and more information about the cybersecurity camps. So thank you. We're excited you're all coming and joining our program and our family. Okay, that's all I've got. I'm muting myself.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Bye.
Are there any questions left before? No?
No, just a lot of thank yous.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure the few questions those people got answered. Okay, thank you.
goodbye.
Bye.
Great job. Thank you.
Thanks, Mel. Melanie, do you want to meet at Fired Pie tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay, what time do you want to go?
Let's see.
And we can just eat outside and hang out for a while.
Yeah, let's do that.
Maybe 6?
Yeah, I'm looking at my